So these A players are people, I think they really care about what we are doing and they invest in their time and other resources. So you don't have to beg the person or like you get what I mean. You don't have to force the person to do anything for the community. Like the person does things because they believe in what we are doing, that we are doing it for God and humanity. And so such people will be in charge of the teams and all, so that we trust them to make good decisions. Because when you make people get, like when you make people own specific parts of what we are doing, it really works. And we've seen that on the field. Last year we saw a lot of improvement in terms of how things are being done. So we are trying to make all of them powerful and not say be a mom be bad then. Like we are trying to let them know, say we trust what you are doing, and you have the 100% to take every decision you think can help us. So the fourth practical way of scaling and making things grow in its organic sense is we will use the 101 gathering as a way they update all of us, because from here they are supposed to go and work on their plans for the year, how they are going to make things work for this year. So and they have up to the time we will do the 101 gathering, then they come and tell them. Well, I'm not hearing anything. I don't know. Okay, welcome, Boatin, Danny, Tenewa. I think the rest will join us later. So this is the first meeting we are having for this year. Mostly when we are starting the year, it's like this. A lot of people don't show up. Then when it gets to December, then we have a lot of people. So we shouldn't be discouraged by the numbers. So and then most of them too, I think, are late, so they will join later. And the meeting is being recorded so that we upload it on YouTube for the rest, because some of them have asked for permissions. They will not be able to show up. So okay, so we begin this meeting in the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We invite Holy Spirit to guide us and be with us in these plans. In Christ we pray. Amen. Yes, so straight to the first agenda. Reports from Amartey Koni. Yes. The event was generally successful, and I think we were able to raise a lot of funds. Although comparing 2023 to 2022, 2022 we had a lot of funds. I think it's also based on the magnitude of the event. So I heard there's an issue with my sound, so and please, I'm trying to use a different device to see safe. Oh, is it better now? And please, can you hear me? Okay, I guess it's better now. And I'm connecting. I'm akoda. Okay. So yeah, so we raised 12,510 cedis for the program, last year's program, and we shared the expenditure and everything right after the program. In fact, associates even got the chance to see the entire transaction, because it's a policy that right after the program we let everyone know what was raised and how the money was spent, and if so we will be on the back account, one or the account. So if there's an issue to it, then you prompt us, then we resolve it. So some of the things we took from Amartey Koni was that some people were suggesting a lot of things, food issues, and a friend is saying food issues. Why is that only food namekai? I had the list here. Food issues. We had a transportation problem, which was beyond us. Then I think aside that, we have learned a lot of things about how we can do the program, and so going forward, we only have to perfect how we are doing it. So now we know that we work in teams and groups, and some of these teams, now they have leaders who are in charge, so they will have to plan the things well. Yeah, I think those were some of the suggestions. The person who was recording the meeting added that. So, and then new members are not oriented. That was some of the issues some of them were having. And unfortunately, you get to be oriented during meetings like this, but they are not here. So it will be difficult for us to do that, but we'll find ways to reach out to them. So please, any other issues with Amartey Koni, from the field, it was not touched on. Amartey Koni AOBs. Okay, then we move on. So it's a new year, and with the new year, it comes with its own agenda, plans, and how things are going to be done. So this year, the draft of the plan, the plan draft is available. How we will do things, an action plan is available. I think I've shared it with all of you, and you can have access to it if you are in the Hope Journey group. Now, at your free time, you can go through and also edit it, comment on issues, and if you don't want to even comment in the actual document, you can PM me and draw my attention to issues. So the link is in the group. Our focus for this year will be on I think we are using the test. We've had interesting tests, and one of the famous ones here, First Peter 5:10, and after you have suffered a little while, it was really hyped for us. There was a year to we used John 3:17, and then this year we are using Colossians chapter 1 verse 21 to 23. If indeed, and you who were alienated and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he has now reconciled in his body of flesh by his death, in order to present to you holy and blameless and above reproach before him. The focus test is actually the 23. No? If indeed you continued in faith, stable, steadfast, and not shifting from the hope of the gospel that you have heard, which has been proclaimed in all creation under heaven, and of which I, Paul, became a minister. So this year we are trying to stabilize everything we are doing. We had a plan. We've executed the plan now. So we have a structure based on that plan we had in the, your friend is saying, the handbook. No? So what we are going to do this year is that we are trying to stabilize it, because most of the leaders are still new in their roles, and so, and some of the courses too are now, we've changed some of them, how they are being done. So for example, Docker's box used to be something we normally had a wrap, we wrap them in gift polythene bags, but then this time around it's not like that. We are trying to create a hybrid system where we have the boutique for the adults, and we are going to perfect some of those things. And now we are also trying to make the food stand better, and also we want to invest more time and attention in training, so that things will become stable. So, and if you're able to do that, that is when by the 10th anniversary we can have something substantially we can point to. And also we need to have a system that works with or without individuals. So if I am not there, it's supposed to work. If Watson is not there, it's supposed to work. And if any other person else is not there, because this is how we have arranged that things are supposed to be. If you look on the document and you really want to do it, you can do it. And based on this too, others can just replicate the same Hope Journey events and how we do our things in other parts of the country. So it will not be limited to places where we have influence and we know people. So any other person who want to do a Hope Journey event anywhere can also do that. So we are just trying to build on all these things and find a way to make things better. So if we all come on board and we all try to get involved, we'll be able to do things better than how we've been doing as in the previous years. Please, any other question, any questions, any contributions? If I'm also talking to myself on so Aneja, I continue to enjoy talking to myself. Okay, so what we are going to do this year is that we are going to stick to the team lead system. So instead of a top-down hierarchy, we will use a flat hierarchy where team leads can make decisions faster. They get to execute things. So based on the resources you've given to the person is able to execute things faster. And individuals in the various teams will be in charge of specific things in their team. So for example, when you go to Docker's box, the clothes, someone may be in charge of your friend is saying the clothes being hanged. Someone will be in charge of shoes. So on from home to the field, what he knows, yes, he's going to work on shoes. And then the person who works on, and that person is in charge of it. Like The person is not supposed to be someone at upper hierarchy, maybe supposed to be on the patrons or the trustees before he becomes in charge of something. But then, so far as he's a member and the person is active, you just use that as an advantage for the person to be able to do things. And I think with that, people feel like they are more responsible for things. So we've done an experiment with that with the health team. So health, someone is in charge of something. Everyone is into. When you go there, you can see say things work with or without their leader. Charles has not been around for a while, but then still things work really well because they have such a system running. So we want to borrow that idea from that and implement it in other teams. Okay, so one of the practical strategies we are trying to use this year to make things work is that there are some people in my head I always call A players. So these A players are people I think they really care about what we are doing and they invest their time and other resources. So you don't have to beg the person or like you get what I mean. You don't have to force the person to do anything for the community. Like the person does things because they believe in what we are doing, that we are doing it for God and humanity. And so such people will be in charge of the teams and so that we trust them to make good decisions. Because when you make people own specific parts of what we are doing, it really works. And we've seen that on the field. Last year we saw a lot of improvement in terms of how things are being done. So we are trying to make all of them powerful and not say be a mom but then like we are trying to let them know say we trust what you are doing and you have the 100% to take every decision you think can help us. So the fourth practical way of scaling and making things grow in its organic sense is we will use the 1-on-1 gathering as a way they update all of us, because from here they are supposed to go and work on their plans for the year, how they are going to make things work for this year. So and they have up to the time we will do the 1-on-1 gathering, then they come and tell the entire community what they are working on. Last year it was really good. A lot of people had their ideas audited, and I think so when we got on the field, I saw a lot of improvements. The only problem we had was with the arrival of the second team, which is beyond us. So I think if not that anchor, we will have things very perfect or near perfect. So we will try and do the 1-on-1 gathering again because is it my internet? Okay, we will try and do the 1-on-1 gathering again so that we get to train each other on things. So with 1-on-1, something like the Hope Diary, for instance, this year we are planning. Last year I wanted to take people through the Canva so that at least they can know how to do it. If a lot of people show up and a lot of people are interested, we will do that over there. Then if you don't understand anything about, let's say, mentoring session, you ask people who have experience, people who have been to about 3 or 4 mentoring sessions can share their experience with you. We instead of bringing someone to come and preach to us, this church is good, this church is bad, and all these things. We are trying to do away with all those things. We are trying to convert it into something we use to work on stuff. So if possible, someone comes to tell us about his experience when he went to the mission field or when he went to do community development, and why maybe we should continue doing this, a 30-minute talk or 45 minutes. Then the rest of the day we just use it for practical things like this. I think we can learn one or two. Yes, so this is how the program outline for the training will be like. So and the program is supposed to last up to 2 hours, like how last year it was. So people go home earlier, and it was really nice, and I think it was a day well spent. So the last way we will scale Hope Journey and we will try and grow the organization is to find a financial system that caters to projects and courses on an automatic level. If I come in when we are doing programs, we will not even have to share those flyers and all those things, but then internally we would just get funds and privately, because so sometimes some people may think we are doing it because we want to take money from people, and it's always about the money, and we enjoy doing the whole as a self something. You want people to know that you're a good person and you want to take money and go and buy bags for people. But then if we are able to have an internal system or mechanism where we're able to raise money internally, privately, and there is a way to verify openly, we can just raise those funds, and then when we are going on the field, we will not have problems, because we can't be in our comfort zone all the time. We need to go to Volta region and some other places where they really need what we are working on, and where they will really appreciate the bags and some of the things we give out, and also preach the gospel to those who have not heard. So in order for us to scale financially this year, we will cut cost on a lot of things, so that we will have that freedom to experiment with a lot of ideas too. So we will discontinue BC starter pack. That's my first proposal. My first proposal is that the BC starter pack should be discontinued, because one, BC will not be written like how it was done previously. So until we understand what is going on, we just put it on hold, like we did during the COVID time and all those things. So and also with how the calendar is, second reason, the calendar has become unfavorable to us. So you use your fallow period, time we are not supposed to take money from people. We just raise money internally. Last year that's what we did. Then we use it to organize the BC starter pack, and last year we spent about 6 to 7K on BC starter pack because of transportation and feeding the volunteers who went for the event and other issues, the stationery and other things. So in order to save money, we will not also have the July Bible event. We will find a way to add it to the December. So last year we tried it, but no one showed interest. It's like people didn't want to go for the house to house, or people were not interested in the house to house, and you can't force people to go for evangelism when they don't want to go. So that's how it was last year. Hey, questions? Do you have any question? Okay, I'll continue. Then the December event. So it will still happen on the 26th. So how it's been like, the same template. Then The only difference is that we need to put more premium on the arrival, that we are supposed to arrive early, and then the short deba they organized last year, I think it was nice. And we will use the program outline there Amartey Koni headmaster did for us. I think it's really cool and short, so we will use that as a way to introduce to the people who we are, what we are trying to do at their place, for the purpose of clarity of mind for the individuals and indigents of the place. So after the deba, then we all break to our teams. If you are there to do mentoring session, you just go and do your mentoring session, witness to the children, and also have chit chats with them. Then if you are a back end person who is working on food issues, you go and do food issues. Then if you're a clothes person, you start preparing for the adults who will finish their the friend is saying their health screening, because right after the health screening they come to the Docker's box session. And this time around, we are trying to also work on something like an experience. We still don't have a name for it yet, but then yes, something like you come, we enroll you onto what we are doing. So your name, we write your name. Then after you are done with your first step, so for instance, if you're an adult, we enroll you, you go and do health screening. Then after you are done with the health screening, you are given a sheet of paper, a chit, a color. So if you are going for health, you are going to join the health project, we are now calling it St. Luke's project. If you are going to that side, you have green. But then when you are going to Docker's box, you hold blue card, something like that, because the color for Docker's box is blue. So the folks at Docker's box will use that blue card to allow you into the boutique place, so that those problems we had last year will not be there. Like, we will not face that same problem again. We always iterate, and so we are finding ways to make it better. So this is a system we are working on. So you just use those cards. So when the person is done, then into Obahona so unkra card na, you don't serve the person, because we are serving the people based on the card. We are not going to sell it to them, it's just free, but then they are going to be served based on those things. We understand the colors, we understand what's going on. So if you are holding green and or they enter Docker's boxer, you will not be served, because green is only accepted at St. Luke's, the health team. So we are trying to bring some of these things to reduce the overcrowding and the chaos, so that the whole program will look like a program being done by educated people and people who know what they are about. So I think okay, Makasa about house to house. Please, any questions? Oh, Obian Pijanensa. Okay. And then yes, the food too. I think there is a problem with the food. Okay, but senior.
Maybe we will beat them up on the field, but they're planning for it. I think we should get a team for it now, else we will just boycott it at the end, because we won't have people handling it.
Please come again. Please come again. Not
I was saying that the house-to-house evangelism, I think we should get a team for it now, so that they work towards it. Else we will end up boycotting it on the field, because we won't have personnel for it. course, we can beef up the personnel on the field, but let's get a dedicated team for it. So I don't know if the Hope Diary team, since it's still evangelism, can the Hope Diary team take it up?
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea because mostly the diary team do not have any work on the field. Yes, so I think yes, I will discuss it with Rachel. I think she wasn't able to join, so I'll discuss it with her. Then, um, if anything, they also start planning like how the other teams are planning. Or, well, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. I beg any other question. Okay, so we will continue. Um, the solution to the first problem, I think, is being solved. Watson has suggested a very good idea for us. So the food, the sugar thing, um, I think we need to find a solution. We have to go back to the Bunkwa days where we were able to give actual food to people. It's we need to improve it. We need to improve it. Like the food should look homogenish. Like it should be the best things we can afford. Then the Dockers box experience. Yeah, I think we will make it better with the sheets, the card system we are trying to implement. Then, yes, one of the problems we had on the field last year was the inventory issues. First was with the bags, then with the total number of children and who gets what. I think they gave us a lower number for some of the issues and some of the items, and we almost got overwhelmed. So some of the things we had excess, and then some of the things too we didn't have much. So it needs a relook. Things the inventory management should be taken seriously. So stationary team, they have to pay attention to some of these things, because if the thing is, you can decide not to do that thing, but when we go on the field, you know that if I'm coming here, yeah, like we will all not suffer like this. So I beg you, let's try our best and do that. So with all these plans ahead, this is the execution of the activity. So and the first we decided that because latter part of the year we had an intense experience, so many things, hope journey. Most of the people who work on hope journey courses are people who are now beginning life, people who are students and all those things. They are new workers, so they don't have much time, and we didn't want hope journey to get involved in anybody's personal life too. So we created a break for ourselves. Last year the break was for only 1 month. This year we created a 3 months break for ourselves, so that we will use that part for personal things and hope journey not getting in the way of other stuff. So we resumed on first match, and we've been talking in some of the groups. We've been talking. So from first match, I think some of the groups, you can see some people don't mind me, but me, I'll still disturb. So we've been, and this document was even prepared, I think, from first match. So we have resumed. That was the first activity, and then the next activity is the community meeting. So we have a regular community meeting where every quarter we try to meet and update ourselves on what we are working on and how things are going. and if there is something we need to add, if there's something we need to remove, everyone comes on board and we just decide. So we are currently at a community meeting, so we use these meetings to also reconnect with ourselves and to give news. So this particular meeting was news from Ada and the debriefing. I think we are also doing the proposal thing. So in April we will try and work on the destination. And God being so good, a lot of people there are so many entries. I think so far we have like 4 entries, and majority from Adan area, 1 from Insamom area. So we've not even opened up that we are taking. And okay, one cry is on the mountains, Sokodagwa, so yeah, on the mountains. So we will use April for that work. The entire April we will announce. Then later, after we get some names, a scouting team will visit the destinations. Then when they visit those places, the place that meets our requirements and that will fit for a Hope Journey project or Hope Journey event, we will vote on them in May. That's what we will do. So what we normally do is, after we vet the place and we think the place meets some standards, we don't make it like, oh, some group of people have decided that we are going here, so we are going, but rather the entire community will vote. Last year we did that, so we will put it through voting. Then whilst we are voting, we are praying to God to give us a place. So since God works through men, yes, he will select a place for us through members of our community. So after the 3 days, if the trustees and the executives decide maybe it will be 1 week to fine. Like, these documents are tentative. A lot of things can change here. So a woman, then you just check the document, and it will also be up on the Hope Journey website soon, so that it will be easier for you to access it rather than going through your chat and all those things. So then on May 13th, we will announce the destination, that this is where we are going. And we back then we used to do the fundraising before we announce the destination, but then someone suggested that people should know where we are going, and it was a very good idea. So now that's how we've been doing it. So we announce the place, then we use the last half of the year, the next 6 months, the second half of the year, June, somewhere in June, I think said June. We use June to finalize the backpack design, how this year's bag is going to look like. So I think that work is done by a very temporal group. We have this temporal group, the whole bags project group. So they will discuss some of these issues, the design, the colors we are giving out, and all those things, the cost and issues that relate to the bag, and how we are going to raise per bag the cost of every bag. So after that, we start the main fundraiser. Interestingly, some people have started donating. I think the last month someone donated, so looks like the fundraiser is still on. But then yes, some people, the main one was starting June 3rd with an announcement in the community page that officially we are accepting donations. Then from there, after the announcement, then the work on the field also begins. So health team will have to start working on this. Mentoring team, you have to start working on it. Achia asked for permission. He's at a different meeting, and so yeah, so mentoring team, you also meet and then discuss issues if you need a new guide, yes, if there's a part of the guide you think we should edit, you guys decide, you work on it, you edit, you bring it to the 101 gathering. If the entire community agree that, oh, okay, yeah, I think we should edit this side, yeah, we will edit. If not to, we will not agree with you, then yeah, then we'll give you reasons why. So health team will also work on their budgets and plans. So please, if you are in a team and your team lead is not here, you go and tell the person that, and I think he will watch it. So please, your team will start working on your plans in June, from June 3rd. So from June 3rd up to when we will do the 101, the gathering, you have to prepare your budget and work on all those things. And if possibly, a way we can raise funds for your course. So because last year when we had the debriefing meeting at Amartey Koni, it came up that we need to have this way of specifically raising funds for specific courses. So I think the teams will have to decide and work on those things. Then on June 22nd, we start working on the clothes collection for the Dockers box. So that from June to December, you start washing them every weekend. Yeah, we will get the free time. Because last year, because we did it that way, we were able to hang the clothes, and it was really nice and truly impactful. Then we will have the second community meeting for end of the second quarter. So it will be based on the few teams and their updates and what they've done so far. Then later we will have the third quarter community meeting, which will also be based on something similar like that, and also preparation towards the 101 gathering. So the 101 gathering will happen in October, like how we did last year. So that there will be space between the 101 gathering, enough space between 101 gathering and the December event, because it helps. Then we will have another meeting, the fourth community meeting in December 21st, finalizing everything we've worked on and final updates from the various teams and all those things. So by December 21st, I think we should know everything we are doing, and mostly if the event will be successful or not. On by 20th, you know say this year it will be successful. If it will not be too, okay. So the event itself will happen on 26th December. With everything we've discussed. So currently the documents, and we are trying to work on budget. We want to have a fair idea of how much the event will cost and all those things, so that it will be a proper proposal. So I think by close of the week, these sessions will be filled, like all those things. Yeah, we will know, we have a fair idea of how all those things cost based on data we have from previous events. So that if there's a whole person who fund the food programmer, you can fund food program. If you want to fund Dockers box, you can fund it. You can do susu from right now till we do it. Yes. So this is our plans for 2024. This is how we intend to make things work, and this is how things are going to be like. And so if you have anything you want to add, any question, kindly bring it up board, so that we can make things better and we work against the chaos and do things that will glorify God. Thank you so much. Any questions, any additions, anything you think we should subtract? Hey guys, are you there? Okay, Benis. Please, I didn't hear. Oh, any questions, any contributions, AOBs, things we can add? Hey, and I'm not joining on Makoda. Okay, no question from Esinam's side. Asama, do you have anything to say? We can see you. Danny. Last time when we were on the field, you had a lot of things you think we should add. I think they recorded it and we've used it for the proposal. Have we touched on all those issues?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so my major concern was with the transportation. I feel like getting to your stops, your designated stop sometimes so that we are able to make it on time. And I raised the concern about going very far away and then looking at how we usually. Okay, I've not really joined a lot of the trips. I think it's one. It's one. The one to Thinking Birthday, I think. Yeah, in a way we have to come away for people and all that. I was just saying that if you have to go far, maybe to the local is come up. Then yeah, we need to do that. So I don't know if we can. I don't really have an idea of how to make that process better. But if there's a way, I'll be glad to.
Okay, so the man in charge of that side of issues is not here. So, but then the transportation issue has always been our problem, and we don't want it to always be our problem. So, this year we will do our best to make things better.